Okay, this is me practicing learning by describing and relating and reading and regurgitating, reading and expressing. So in the textbook that I'm reading, we're learning about the role of the therapist, or just in that short little section, the chapter is on the therapeutic relationship. So this is the role of the therapist. And so what I'm trying to do is to read a section which is, about a page or two. Yeah, it's about a page and a half, 2 pages, and to sum it up in my own words, in a very practical way. And when I read this section, it made me think of just the kind of character traits that make up a therapist. And one of the things that it talked about, one of the things that it made me think of is in the course that I took, one of the introductory courses on this biopsychosocial model. We were in a small section on ethics, and it made me just think about attributes of a morally sound character as a therapist. So that is a genuine concern for your client, competence, which also fits into the ethical character model, or the morally sound model. So you need to be smart, but you need to have a genuine empathic demeanour about you. And this is backed up by science, as it says that there's a study where 2 groups of women undergoing CBT, one group where they had been sexually abused and one group that had not been sexually abused, both valued different things from the therapy, but still were under kind of that umbrella of ethically sound character. The group that was sexually abused valued a warm, empathic, compassionate concern and emotional demeanor from the therapist, and the group of women who had not been sexually abused valued competence over anything. But all of those categories, they still fit inside the ethically sound character, morally sound character. It mentioned that, and this comes from like the Carl Rogers approach. So it's not specific to CBT, but as the role of a therapist within any therapeutic relationship, I would imagine, is fundamental. To have a genuine concern for the client, obviously, to be curious, to not assume anything about the client, and to have a kind of scientific approach to the client, but with a genuine concerned curiosity. And then what else did it talk about? The last thing I might mention is that it was interesting to hear talking about the type of relationship dynamics. So in today's society, there's a lot of communication about power dynamics and things like that. And it didn't mention anything about power dynamics, but it did mention what that relationship should look like. Instead of a expert teacher to student type of relationship, it said, the role of the therapist in the therapeutic relationship should be more of a mentor, a guide, a coach in a way, though we don't want to relate it to the field of coaching, I guess, but to relate to the client as an adult, having adult conversations where you are both contributing to the therapeutic outcome. And I think this goes back to one of the fundamental key aspects of CBT is that it's collaborative in nature. So that's one of maybe the more specific thing about CBT being about the role of the therapist specific to CBT is that it's collaborative in nature, which I think most therapies these days are, but maybe not all of them. There you go. That was maybe 90% from my memory of what I read. Hopefully that serves me well in the future, and perhaps serves you as well.